Hello there and welcome. This session explains how to use Microsoft Word's Mail Merge feature with data from an existing Excel spreadsheet. We'll focus on three things. We'll start by reviewing the data in the Excel spreadsheet. Then we'll create the master document in Word, which in our example is going to be a letter. Then, through the power of Mail Merge, we'll complete the merge and have individualized letters for each recipient. Here in our Excel file, we have personnel information on our staff. So each row is the unique information for each of our employees. It's got contact information, it's got salary, percentages, along with the date and time that we'd like to meet with each of our employees. There are, just going to scroll down so you can have a look. There's quite a few of them. We have actually 80 employees. We're going to be using the Mail Merge feature to create an individualized letter for each of them. Now switching over to our Word master document. We'll get to the merge process and laying out the merge fields in just a moment, but in order to preserve the formatting from the Excel spreadsheet, there's a Word option that we need to set. You typically will only need to do this once, but it's a good idea to check it before each merge with Excel project. So to get in there, I'm going to go and click on the File tab. I'm going to click on Options. This is an advanced option, so along the left, I'm going to locate Advanced and give it a click. And then these options are sort of grouped together. And the group that I'm looking for is a group called General. So I'm scrolling down a little bit. Here's that General group. And this is the option that we need. Confirm File Format Conversion on Open. That's a mouthful, but basically what it's going to do as we perform the merge is ask us what file format we'll be using. And this is important to be able to maintain the formatting from the Excel spreadsheet. So making sure that's checked, clicking on OK, and then we're able to now move forward with our merge process. Now we'll focus on the master letter. At this point, the information that is on this master letter is more or less the static information that we want to appear on each of our individualized letters. There are a few placeholders here that I've put in just to remind me where I want certain things to go. Let's start up here at the top. I'm going to just replace this date placeholder, just deleting it, with a field that will update. So I can do that over on the Insert tab of the ribbon. In the text group, there's a command here that will allow me to bring in the date and time. So I'm giving that a click. And I can just indicate what day format I would like. I can get it to update automatically if I care to, and just click on OK. So that is an example of static information that will be the same on each of the letters. Just like the paragraph that we see here, the headings of the information that I will be bringing in through the merge process, and the closing as well. So once this master letter has the static information in it that you, again, want to display on all of your letters, then you can move forward with the merge process. This is done on the Mailings tab. So clicking on Mailings, I want to focus on this group. It's called Start Mail Merge. And what I'm able to do is use this first button here, Start Mail Merge, and indicate what I want to perform with through this Mail Merge feature. So as we indicated earlier on, we want to do letters. I'm going to give that a click. Now we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is to select the recipients. So on the Mailings tab, just going to click on Select Recipients and indicate that we'll be using an existing list. Going out to the desktop to grab that Excel file that we'll be using, just double clicking it to select it. Selecting the data source, the one that we want is not listed here, and that again is the one that will help us to preserve the Excel formats. So we're going to choose Show All. It gives us a whole slew of additional options, a couple dozen, and I'm gonna scroll down to the one that we do need, which is MS Excel worksheets via DDE. So I'm going to select that and click on OK. It will, behind the scenes, be opening that Excel file. And at this point, I'm going to just, through this prompt, let it know that I want to merge against the entire spreadsheet. Okay. Now I can begin placing the fields, and there are a couple of ways to place fields. You can bring them in as a group using things like the address block option or the greeting line option, or you can bring the fields in from that Excel spreadsheet using the insert merge fields where you can isolate an individual field. So we'll be doing a little bit of both. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these sort of lines that I have here. Once again, they were just to remind me what to put in. And let's bring in the address block. So this will be the recipient's information, and I'm going to be able to bring in the recipient's name as well as the postal address. And there's a variety of different choices that will affect the formatting that comes across. So these are the generic options that you can select from, and over on the right is how they will affect the actual data. So this is showing the first recipient. I can certainly move through and see how the others will display as well. And when all of your selections are made, you can click on OK. And we have the field there that will represent each recipient's address block. So then similar, we can bring in a whole group for the greeting line. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I give that a click and I get to select the greeting type, how that recipient will be greeted, and then the sample as to how your data will look in that format. So I'm going to use this drop down and just say that I want to greet them by first name. So you could say Dear Mel and Dear Heather, etc. And go ahead and click on OK. Okay, now in terms of using the individual fields, I do have, we can go ahead and use the insert merge field drop down to do that. So I'm going to just delete this option here and that text, I should say, and just let it know through this drop down that at this particular point in the letter, I want to bring in that recipient's, that employee's meeting date. And the same with the time. So I'm just removing the little reminder and putting in the actual field. Okay. At this point, it might be a good idea to preview my results, and you can do that at any point. There's a preview results on the mailings tab. You just give that a click and it will show you what your data will look like. So this is the first recipient's letter. I can move on to the second and third using the advanced next record on the ribbon. So now I have Heather's information. I'm not done with the merge at all. Just wanted to sort of show you the direction that we were heading in. So I'm going to click that view results again, and I'm back to where I'm seeing the fields instead of the data behind them. So we have a few more fields to place. I'm going to continue using the insert merge field dropdown. So with the position of your cursor, go ahead and choose whichever fields you want to bring in. And remember to incorporate the spacing. It won't automatically type in spaces for you. Like here, I need to type in a little space there, and just kind of moving along there. Okay, and once your fields are all placed, you may want to preview the results again so you can see how they look, right? Turn that off. And if there's any formatting you want to maybe make those things stand out a little bit, you can go ahead and select the field, like this placeholder, just clicking and dragging to select the placeholder for the meeting date in this example. And on the home tab of the ribbon, maybe making that bold so it stands out. And I can do the same thing with the meeting time, just selecting that whole sort of field and using the B icon or any other formatting that you may want. And back on the mailings tab, I can preview the results, and you'll see that that information will come through in whatever formatting you selected. Now we're ready to complete the merge. So in the Finish group, we're clicking on Finish and Merge, and we want to use the option called Edit Individual Documents. We'd like to do a letter for each of the 80 recipients, so we're going to keep this selected in the All position. Click on OK. Give it a minute to complete the merge, and now in a completely separate file, you could see this is called Letters 1. You have the merged results. So there is a letter in this particular file for each of my recipients. This first page is Mel's letter, and the second page is Heather's letter, etc. And it's got all of the customized information that we brought in from the Excel spreadsheet. So it's just a matter of printing this, and I'm all set. And that wraps up our session for today. Thanks, and hope to see you again soon.